Hi folks. Well, we're going to get started putting in the composite floor now, and we've got this room totally cleaned up, all the junk that used to be in here, all the furniture and all the rest of the stuff. So the next step is to take up this carpet. So I guess it's going to have to get cut in pieces in order to do that, and I guess I'll cut it down the middle. And here, as you can see, Janiene is cutting the carpet. It's good to have a helper. So I'm just going to cut some of this, cutting this carpet up. It's not hard to cut the carpet. The hard part is taking the tacks out of the floor where they put down the padding. That's the hard part. So this is just a look at the staples and little pieces of the padding that are left over once we pull up the padding. So all that's got to be removed, and I've been using pliers and a hammer with a screwdriver and tapping them out one by one. So we got the staples up. It took quite a long time to do that. And now we're putting down a vapor barrier. And this gets stapled down. So I have my stapler there, and we're going to get started putting this vapor barrier down. And after that we can get started with the flooring itself. It took quite a long time to do, getting this all clean and all those staples up and seeing all the craziness that was underneath the carpet. It's amazing how they do things nowadays. They do them as quickly and as cheaply as they can. There's not really much craftsmanship nowadays. Anyway, I'm going to get started here, getting this vapor barrier down. So here we have our first row laid out finally. This is hours later. I really thought I'd be way further along than I am, but I'm not. So this is the first row that's laid out, and with the spacers in, and I need to move forward here. Now there are certain things that are not really made clear in the instructions, and as to what's the tongue side, and I figured out that this is the tongue side, and that has to get trimmed off when you're putting that up against the first wall. And then the first piece I put in, I also trimmed off the edge, and then fit it. Well, I didn't exactly trim off the edge. I cut the piece so that it's trimmed up against the edge wall there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be done on all the walls or not. I guess we'll find out. So this is my first tricky part. I need to cut a slot to allow that one piece to fit in. And so This is the first part that's actually somewhat challenging. And I don't have I need to get a jigsaw, I think. I don't have one. I have a table saw. That's how I've been cutting the lengths. And that's how I've also been cutting the, you know, I had to cut the tongue off on one end. But I don't have a jigsaw or any other kind of small saw. I think I need to get one. So I was able to get that first piece in there, the first more or less custom piece, and I think it'll be okay. And now I have that little end piece to do over there that you can see, and then after that I got a bunch of rows really of pretty straight sailing, and it shouldn't be too bad for a while until I get up to the other edge of the closet. So this is all I've been able to accomplish on day one. Part of the problem, of course, is, you know, I've got to take my stuff in and out of my table saw and all the rest of it in and out of my shed, and that alone is a very challenging thing to do. I don't have much space, or I can't leave anything outside. It's got to go into the shed, get locked up at night, come out of the shed, get set up, and then get used, and then get put away again at night. It makes it very difficult. That's one reason that a lot of my projects go kind of slowly. Anyway, it's one day, and I've got maybe 2.5 feet done. But hopefully, you know, a lot of it was preparation, and you know, I was kind of surprised by the amount of preparation time it took. Now I'll know better. So I'm going to continue on tomorrow. Now it's day 2 on this installation project, and I think I'll be able to get this room finished today. It shouldn't be that much of a problem, I hope. Now my wife is going to help me today. She's off from work, and I have Janiene, so hopefully between the 3 of us we can get this thing done today, and I'll try to chronicle the progress as we go along. So I thought I'd show my compound miter saw here. In the very beginning I was using my table saw, but I decided to break this out because it's really a better tool to use. I can cut angles, and this is from Harbor Freight. I bought this thing a few years ago. This is the first time I've used it for any kind of serious projects, but I'm going to need this starting right now, because I'm getting into some places where there's angles that need to be cut, and I couldn't do that on the table saw no matter what. So this is a pretty handy thing to have right now. So here you can see that I'm going to need to angle it, and then all the way in here is going to be kind of tricky. And then I also need to accommodate for this cooling vent, this heating vent. So the miter saw won't help much on this. I'm going to use a little jigsaw plus a drill and get the hole started that way. But that other end will definitely need the compound miter saw, or at least it'll make it a whole lot easier anyway. So here I've made the measurements on the on the board or the plank, whatever the hell it's called. And what I'm going to do is on the corners, I'm going to use this drill bit so that the jigsaw blade will fit in, and I can make good straight cuts, or at least pretty straight, and that should be good enough to get this thing started. So here's what we've been able to accomplish, and this actually took a couple of days to do, and you know, I've learned a little here and there. Maybe I could do it more quickly in the future, but for now, this is what I was able to do. Now, I made some mistakes, and here's a big one, but you know, my wife said that she doesn't want me to fix it. I think I should, but she doesn't want me to. So I'm gonna slip a piece of the flooring in there and tap some kind of baseboard on there, very, very thin, because you know, you can see when they built the house they did a real crap job. So even though it's not perfect, it'll be better than it was. And then I gotta cut a little piece that's gonna go in there, in that closet in the corner. And up here, I need to get out my table saw again and cut a strip that'll fit in here. But I didn't want to do that today because you know, I just didn't feel like it. But all in all, it's been an experience, especially dealing with you know, everybody's got their own idea about how to do things. So my wife has her ideas and I have mine, and they don't always quite match up, if you know what I'm saying. And sorry to J-Man Prepper Won't Be Silenced. I decided to leave the baseboard on and then just put the trim. And I'm not sure if it was a good idea or not, but I don't want to risk damaging the walls, taking off that trim, so, because it's a textured wall, and if I screw it up, then it's going to be a problem. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to put up another video once I get this room completed, and we'll see how it looks, and then I have to move on to the hallway, and after that we'll have to see what happens. So, thanks for watching.